Hello, and today we are going to be looking at the artwork from Jen Du and learning how to make her work in Google Drawings. Or not her work, I'm sorry, make our work, but inspired by her. So I've just finished this one right here, and I was going to show you a little bit about how I did it. I've copied it and pasted it to the right. So right now what I'm going to do is sort of show you all these individual shapes and how I created this. So let's take a look about what we can do. I'm just going to create a new drawing. And I'm going to put the artwork that I just created here over to the side so I can just use it as sort of a guide. Okay, so the first thing I did was change my background color. So for me, I right-click, background, and I selected a bright orange. Okay, now if you break it down by shapes, everyone, this is what we sort of need to look at. And we need to know the tools that we have available to us. So for example, one tool that I used was I used a line tool a lot in this project. And I clicked the line tool, and quick tip for you, if you hold down the shift button when you're using this line tool, it's really helpful. So I hold down the shift button and it helps me make straight lines, okay? Then I want to change the weight of the line, the thickness, and I'm going to go to 8 point. Okay, I'm going to change the color of my line. I'm going to go to a bright pink. And now all I have to do is click my arrow, and I'm simply going to, you can either go to edit, copy and paste, or you can follow the shortcuts on your computer. So I'm going to duplicate this. It might be Command D for you. For me, it is Command C, Command V. Okay, so here we go. I'm duplicating it. And as you can see, it's sort of making this V line. So you can tell that's what I did in this section with the orange lines and this section with the pink. Now, what you don't know that I did was I got the arrow and I simply highlighted all of them, went to arrange, and I grouped them. So now they're one big group, and I can move them anywhere I want on my page all together. I can also go ahead and copy and paste this and duplicate it. Well, now I've got two sets of lines. I can start to arrange them. I sort of like that negative space of a square in between. So I'm going to copy paste a few times for this group. If you want to, you can go ahead and do the same thing, arrange, and go to group. And now I can copy and paste that again. Look at that, more and more and more. So I just keep duplicating them. For this, then I wanted to duplicate this group. So again, I just highlighted them all and I went to arrange and I grouped all of these, copy, paste, and guess what's next? I go to my format options, go down to format options, size and rotation, and I simply flipped them. Boom, there we go. How fun is that? So now I've got this type of pattern if I'm interested in this. So this is a quick way in Google Drawing to create some patterns. So using your copy paste and grouping and your formatting, now I can go and group this entire thing, arrange, group. And here we go, y'all. I've got this whole new pattern that I can now place on top of a shape if I want. So possibly I'm going to insert a shape. I'll pick a rectangle for this. And I'm going to put my rectangle in. I want this to go behind. So I'm going to arrange, order, and I'm going to send it to the back. Okay? I want to think about my colors. I was sort of using some blues and pinks. And maybe I want a nice big fat outline. It doesn't have to be black, but you can think about that if you want that. Okay, so there we go. That's kind of interesting to me. Other things that you can see that I did over here in this one. Check out some different shapes that you can insert. So here we go, insert shape. I liked that rounded look in some of her work. She also has curves in her work. So there's all these great shapes. Don't just stick with rectangle, okay? Do something unique and kind of fun. Make things a little bit different. So I had this one here. And again, I'm just going to click and drag. There we go. Maybe I want it to place here. I did like those thicker black outlines. So for my artwork, I was using them. For yours, you could do something different. And I was going with my blue, and I just inserted some squares on top of that. So now you can start inserting shapes on top of shapes. I can change it up. Maybe I want to do a triangle. Okay, she has a lot of triangles in her work. Maybe I want to change that to black and do like this. Okay, maybe I want another one of those letter D's. Let me insert a shape again. Okay, go down and find that pretty cool shape. Where was it? Let's see, with the curved edge. Oh, here we go. And maybe I want to fill in this a little bit. I can adjust it, pull it down, kind of make it, oh, I want to adjust it just a tad bit more. There we go, sort of making a new shape there. Okay, so that's how you can add in all these great shapes. Let's go back and look for some inspiration at some of her work. So here you can see it's like the mountains, the repeated squares. This is just a square with triangles inside. Ooh, here she's starting to play with a little bit more. We looked at a lot of her work, and I highly recommend that we go back to these slideshows so we can see all the fun stuff that she did. So remember, you can insert polka dots, patterns. You could use the squiggle tool and do this line here. Make a checkered board pattern. Use that D shape and then copy and paste it on top of each other to repeat that. Okay, repeat a circle over and over. Let's look at a couple more of her pieces here. So this one, you could see how much fun it would be. Here are some circles here, triangles, lots of different shapes, and going in between bold outline. And then, for example, this one on the right, this has no outline. So let's take a look at what that might look like on our artwork. I can just put this here for inspiration. Okay, so I like how these circles and these different shapes take place. So I could insert, again, a shape. And down at the bottom, oops, there are some great ones here too with some curved edges. So I could possibly put something like this in with the curved edge. And I'm going to get rid of my outline on this one. So I'm going to go and change the color here. And maybe then I want to insert a circle inside of here. I can use these red guidelines. Look, it's like telling me I'm centered here, and now I'm centered here. Okay, and I want to change my color a little bit. So now I've got another shape inspired. I like these little orange, rectangles here. And don't forget, you could use your line tool. Hold your shift button now and change the thickness of it. Maybe I just need a 4-point. Go to a bright orange. If you don't, if you don't like the length of something, like say that's too long, I can just click on it with the arrow and I can adjust my little anchor point there. Okay, so I can adjust my dot and move it around to how I like it. All right, let's see. Get it just to the edge there. And maybe I want this to go behind the black shape. So again, I did my arrange there. So I can copy and paste this, move it, make a couple, and do some real detailed work like this. Okay. Again, if you want to arrange it, just go up to arrange and order, and you can send it back. So there's a shortcut for that, arrange, order. Send all the way to the back would go behind that cream color, but just sending it backwards, I might have to click it a couple of times like we've covered, but there's my shortcut right here. So I can do the command and the down arrow on it, command down, and it's jumped behind there. Super. Okay, so you can see how you can overlap things and start to make things really unique and make things your own. Lots of fun. Don't forget to pick out your color scheme. It's really important. Keep keeping to orange, yellow, blue, and cream on that bottom left one really worked. Okay, so making sure you do that. I love how some of her lines go off the shape. So don't forget, you are the artist. It is about overlapping, layering, and shapes that you connect with and what you want to make. Okay, hope you have fun. See you in class.